Hello, how are we doing? We are live from Valley Parade, and you should be able to see the pitch behind me. Although it looks a bit weird, to be honest, but that's just my laptop being crap. Yes, thank you very much for joining in. Big game tonight, obviously, for the Wanderers. 1-0 up after the first leg. Advantage Wanderers, we said. How big an advantage that is remains to be seen. It's definitely going to be a test tonight. Packed out Valley Parade. Not many tickets left, if any, tonight, actually. Not many seats left in the press box either. There's a lot of shuffling going on behind me, which is why I've just brought the computer up to the top and hopefully can lean it whilst I'm talking to you guys for the next half an hour or so. Lots of people already messaging in with their nervousness. Longest day of my life. Come on, you white men, breathe some positivity. Can I breathe some positivity? Well, I'll tell you what, all you have to do really is to listen to Stephen Schumacher's press conference from yesterday or Ethan Erhan's press conference from yesterday. Both very upbeat. That has been the mood really in the camp. They're very confident, nice and relaxed, really. There's not really any visible signs of tension. Whether that changes when they get out there on the pitch, of course, remains to be seen. But yes, I think there's a lot of positivity around. There you go, as if by magic. Some nice positive tweets. But yeah, I think, do we have biscuits? There may be some biscuits in the press room. The press room is quite famous here. There's a lady called Eileen who does the press snacks and food. She bakes cakes. She's 91 years old. She's absolutely fantastic. And yes, I shall be sampling some of those later on. Whether this biscuit's not is irrelevant to me. Thought you beat the San Siro, by the way, Bradford. Yes. Look, there has been lots of banter about how relevant a full house will be today. I mean, Wanderers. What was it last week? 23, I think, thousand for Wanderers. I thought the atmosphere was excellent last week. That it wasn't a sellout, but there's 28,000 that go into that stadium, of course. There won't be many seats available. They've got little flags. I don't know if you can see them just over my shoulder there. They've laid out little flags for the fans to wave. Look, it's always a partisan atmosphere. We know that. It was for the league game. It was a really good dress rehearsal, I think, coming here a couple of weeks ago. And in what was a really big afternoon for them, it was obviously the memorial for the fire disaster. So I think the atmosphere that day was really emotional, and then in the end, really loud as well. So I think Bolton, the majority of those players will know. Those paper sandcastle flags, they've got all terrifiers. Look, it is what it is. I think it's just getting everybody involved, isn't it? I don't think they'll have any problem with that. I was walking through town. I've managed to bag myself a hotel room, dead posh today. Walking through town, already a load of City fans around, making lots of noise in the town centre, and starting their drinking early. So I dare say it will be very loud here later on. 2,500 Bolton fans, just over. The hottest ticket in town, really. Very lucky if you got that. But then, of course, what we're talking here, it's about 5:30 now or so. So the gates will be open for the fan zone, so the fan zones will be picking up as well. And I imagine there's plenty of people watching in town, all the pubs and clubs around Bolton as well. There'll be. I can hear Jack Dearden's with us. I'm going to get Jack Dearden in a minute actually, and get his take on things. Wanderers TV can't stream in Thailand. That's bad news. You'll have to stick with Matchday Live then, David, I'm afraid. Or I don't know whether you can pick Jack up internationally, can you? I don't know whether that's possible. Can I read that one? Oh my God, it's getting closer, Mark. Feels as big a game as Oxford in the playoff final. We were talking about this the other day. Is this a bigger game? Because, without going over dramatic, I haven't really thought too hard about what would happen if they didn't win and didn't get into the championship. But there's a lot of players going back. It's going to be a long old season. It's going to be a long old summer if Bolton don't win tonight, or don't win the tie tonight. And indeed, if they fall short at Wembley, I don't want to start thinking about that just yet. But I am confident. And speaking to the lads back there, a lot of people think Bolton have got the advantage and that they'll keep the advantage. But Who knows? Who knows? Graham's gone for 2-1 Bolton. That would be great. An early goal would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Do I think Bolton will win tonight? I'm not entirely sure whether they will win on the night, but I think they will win the tie. I think they'll shade it. I think it potentially will be a fraught 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw, and then we'll obviously go through on aggregate. But famous last words. Feel free to clip that and throw it back in my face later on, Bradford fans. Is it a bigger game? Who knows? It's on par. It's on par. As I say, it's more a case of looking at the ramifications if they don't go up. Because I think after the Oxford game, it didn't feel like they were at the end of any sort of chapter there. Obviously, it was a massive opportunity, but I didn't feel as if there was any sort of going to be any difference. There wasn't as many lone players. The Barnsley playoff, I didn't feel they were quite ready to go up into the Championship. I felt they were ready. Certainly, Ian Everett's team were ready for Oxford, but it didn't feel like there was going to be any backslide. I'm just a little bit worried that if it doesn't happen this time, it's going to be a very big summer, very, very big summer. Lots of nerves about. Nervous as nervy Neris on National Nervous Day. I like that one. I'm going for a draw. I think so. I think that's where my head's at. I would love Bolton to score early goals. I think that's the big one for me. If Bolton can settle things down, if they can put 2 goals distance in the tie as well, open Bradford up, then I think that'd be the ideal situation. I don't think Bradford will go gung-ho. I don't think that's really the way that they'll go about it. I think they'll try and keep themselves in the game and obviously, knocking on the door for the first kind of half hour, 45 minutes. And then, of course, they maybe are change shape. Interested really to see whether or not they play a back 4 or a back 3 in that regard, because I think they changed it to a back 4 for the league game. That enabled Sissoko and Amario Kojadubri to go one-on-one with their fullbacks, and that was quite a telling thing in the end for Bolton. The 3-4-3 worries me a little bit more, but of course it's more solid, but maybe not quite as attacking as Bradford need to be. Not easy doing this with one hand. I'm going to have to try and swap. There we go. Would you change your winning team? I don't think he will. No, I think, as I wrote in the midweek, the Rodriguez situation coming in, Kenny being injured, I think they've happened upon a very useful kind of formation for this game. The only thing that they could change is if Delby is fit enough to start the game. But as we've said on a few times this week, he's got to be fit enough to go all the way through, play 90 minutes, not just a cameo. So I think I wouldn't change it. I think I'd tell them to go again because they played well. I think they played very well in that first leg. Really testing out the tannoy system on me here, which is very useful. Thank you very much. Not at all annoying. There we go. Are Bolton financially ready to even compete in the Championship, Mark? We, as fans, know very little about the investment team, in particular the Swiss. Well, I mean, I don't think they're necessarily begging for headlines. We don't know a great deal about the people. Obviously, one of them is the brother of Nick Lucock, who's the board member for Football Ventures. I mean, the bottom line is we don't know a lot about their identities, but we do know they have put their hands in the pockets for the last couple of years and committed for the next 12 months as well, according to the accounts. So I suppose, in a sense, there is that sort of question mark over next season. I'm pretty sure there is plans to bring in more investment as well. They will be more attractive to investment as a Championship club because you're only that little bit away from the Premier League. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here for a moment and just sit on this bench. So I've got a chance. So this is live. There we go. That's a bit easier now. I'm not balancing. Tell them to shush in the background, says Gemma. Yep, I know. I've told them. They've been told. Oh, look, Dan's brought me a coffee as well. What a superstar. Cheers, Dan. Hi, Mark. Couldn't help notice behind Henry Hewitt there's a good Youngster shirt on the wall. Good spot. Yeah, I think it's a real one as well. I think he might have bought that himself. Would rather keep him fresh for Wembley if we get there. Sam Dolby, of course. I think he will play some part tonight, whether or not he sticks to the same sort of situation as he did in the first leg, bringing on Dolby and McAtee later on. I think McAtee as well is really knocking on the door. I think he's done pretty well in when he's stayed fit and not suspended. But I think he's shown a good little bit of attitude for me, I think, in the last few times I've seen him. I still want Shuey to beat Alexander, Mark. Alexander is a sore loser. I quite like him. He's all right. Any team news, says Gaz? Well, not at the minute. The players aren't here yet. As soon as we see the players out on the pitch, I'll start listing them off to you as long as or I might even turn the computer round so you guys can see them. How about that? But no, I mean, again, the conversation we had with Stephen Schumacher yesterday at the press conference was basically that there have been no new injuries, but then he did admit himself that he has told little white lies on that front before now, so who knows. Kyle Dempsey has returned. He's back in contention. He missed through illness at the weekend. George Johnson's fine. No new injuries, said Stephen Schumacher. Fingers crossed there is no Johnny Kenny-esque subterfuge in this one. It feels like the club's ready to push up. The board setup and manager structure looks right. I think that's what they've been, that's what the aim is. That's what the aim is. I think they've been trying to set themselves up as a championship club. I do think, as I say, that Barnsley game, I think they were a little raw. I don't think they were quite ready. The structure of the club wasn't quite right, but I think it has been for a couple of years now. And certainly the stuff they did last summer within the club, new CEO, all Fergal, everybody top down. I think they do now look like a championship club in the making. It's just about breaking through that bloody glass ceiling. I nearly swore. I don't want to go back to Stevenage. Nobody wants to go back to Stevenage. Hope it's done and dusted in normal. Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I do not want penalties. I've got a very tight deadline afterwards as well, which does not help at all. I've missed a load of comments up here, so I'm going to scroll back up a little bit. Sam Dolby. He's missed a couple of games, hasn't he, with that injury? But he's looking all right. I think he did quite well when he came on in the first leg, albeit for about 20 minutes or so. I do think he will stick with that same team. I think he won't make any changes tonight. I think Burstow didn't. I mean, he did all right. You never get anything but 100% effort from Mason Burstow, do you? But I do think that's probably the way he'll look to go. Jacko, come and have a word with us. I do think that's the way he'll go. My old pal Jacko is here. Here we go. Look. There we go.
Evening, folks.
How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident, if I'm honest with you.
You're confident?
So, yeah, I'm pretty confident. Yeah.
Bringing your bloody confidence over here.
We don't want any of that negativity, do we?
No, we don't.
Well, at least leave it until about 11:20. But no, I am.
Oh, your fan club's in already, Jacko.
Oh, is my fan club?
Yeah. Jacko.
Oh, Woodstar.
Oh, legend.
Thanks, Woodstar.
Right. He's just come over here to feed his ego, apparently.
No, I haven't. No,
absolutely. Jacko's a legend, right? Yeah. If you've got some questions for Jacko whilst he's here,
why won't we do it?
I'm sure he can. Yeah, I'm sure he can answer a few. But you're confident. I thought they were good in the first leg. I thought they did the job done.
The danger for me is the opening 20 minutes. And if Bradford City score in that opening spell, opening 20 minutes, then obviously, and this place will be absolutely bouncing. It really, really will. And, the Bolton fans who were here for a couple of weeks ago to see the 1-1 draw, they'll know what to expect, won't they? There's no question at all about that. It'll look great on TV as well. It's a great ad for the game. The EFL smells better than that Premier League stuff.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean to say we don't want to get there, by the way. We do. Sooner the better. But for the time being, put that on the back burner. Let's just, it'd be nice to go back to Wembley and win.
Oh, just
I'm sorry. I'm
yeah.
getting ahead of myself.
You're not.
Here,
I don't even want to think about Wembley.
No,
So let's get tonight out of the way first.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what, it looks like there's more bloody stewards than fans here tonight as well. It's an absolute mountain of them.
Yeah, and I think they might all be needed, Mark, a little bit later on, because we know what it's like here, and you know, from a media perspective, that's not been unfair or unkind, by the way. But on nights like we've got here tonight, whoever wins, it's usually a bit chaotic after the game. And one other thing as well, don't know if you made this point, but notice the street. I think this pitch looks an awful lot better than it did a couple of Saturdays ago when the 1-1 draw. Of course,
a lot less patches, isn't there? Especially down this near touchline that we're looking at here was really bold, and I can say that because I'm bold. But it was really patchy down this side, and I think the grass is setting a bit. Hopefully, it's the same at pitch side as well.
Oh yeah, and I think that will suit Bolton as well, to be honest with you. But look, it's a difficult game, isn't it? And they'll be confident as well as Bolton was. If you reverse this, if we were back at the tough sheet tonight and we were trailing by a goal, you know, with the home fans, the home support, you would fancy your chances, wouldn't you? I think there's the down there I can see on pitch sign Graham Alexander, the Bradford City manager.
He's not got a lot of love on here, Jacko. I've been asked before, what's your favourite Coach Dewberry goal? I can't find the comment. I think it was from David, but I will try and find that in a second.
Favourite Coach Dewberry goal? I think probably, was it the last minute winner against somebody early this season, scored in the last
Cardiff
minute?
one.
Cardiff, that's the one. Yeah, definitely. I'd go with that one.
That was the one.
Yeah, I think that was the one.
He scored some beauties. I mean, that's the thing. Is even if Bolton do concede, they've got players in Sissoko, in Burstow, in Rodriguez, in Mario Dewberry that can score something out of absolutely nothing. Don't even have to be playing well. They can score those goals.
You're absolutely right. And by the way, how did that not go in on Saturday? I've already been speaking about this tonight and on the radio. And I think the shot on Saturday night from Cozy Dewberry, it hit the inside of the post. It defied the laws of physics. Exactly.
Yes.
And then it rolled, and I'm waiting. I'm thinking it's going to hit the other post and then just bounce over the line. When it got to the other post, it did like a 180-degree swerve, and then went out for a goal kick. So
I've got to take a bit of video of this. There's a.
Where's the barn dance?
It's like the world's longest line dance. If Hillbilly Rock, Hillbilly Roll comes on in a minute, it would be fantastic. It's like a massive okey cokey.
What they're doing there is telling them this is what you have to do to avoid hopefully a pitch invasion. They'll have been told to stay off the pitch. But listen, emotions are going to be really running strong tonight from both sets of fans and supporters. And speaking of that, a monumental, massive well done, not just for this season, the last few seasons since the club have taken over. The fans have really got behind Bolton Wanderers, haven't they? They really have. They did.
100%.
And did I see somewhere this week, Mark? You'll have seen this, I'm sure. I'm sure I saw on social media this week. Have they got the highest home attendance of League One, Bolton, this season? Average home attendance.
I think they have.
They've got to be in the top three.
They're second on the way to Bradford, apparently. But the miles. I mean, it's the biggest crowds they've had at this level of football ever. So it is fantastic. The following they're getting at the minute. They are actually the away fans today is 2,500. They're not going to be in that stand there where they were last time. They've been moved around the corner. Because Bradford wanted their fans at both ends in case there's a penalty shootout, and then they've got their fans behind the goal.
Wow.
I don't even want to think about that. Do you?
All that thought, no.
You're right.
All that thought.
I am on too tight a deadline for that to bother. Derek's asked you. He's asked us who's winning the Challenge Cup final, Wigan or Hull KR. There we go. Bit of rugby league for you.
Yeah. Thanks, Derek. Listen, I'm going to go Wigan Warriors, not just because they're one of our local teams. I thought they were terrific against St Helens the other week. Saints were poor. It spooked St Helens. I don't know if you saw the game when Matty Lees got injured in the very first play of the game. Literally less than 60 seconds. I think that spooked St Helens from there on in. But no, they were back on track, the Wigan Warriors. So Derek, no, I'd go Wigan. I backed Wigan actually to win against Saints -2. Obviously, they won by 32 points to 0 in the end. But I wish they'd have gone a bit higher. But no, they were terrific. And I'm doing that game tomorrow night, by the way. Wigan Warriors against Leeds Rhinos tomorrow. And that is at Wigan.
There is your rugby league update from Jacko, by the way. If we get him going, he could sit here. If the game would be carried on, he'd still be banging on about rugby league, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd love to do that, Mark. I really, really would. Yeah.
The interesting one is why would Schumacher concern himself with Kenny's pre-season unless he was at Bolton Wanderers?
Oh, good spot. Is that from David?
David,
Good spot, David.
Good point. I think it's a fair point, isn't it? I think. I mean, look, Fergal's a big mate of his dad. They know each other extremely well. If anybody's going to sign him, I think Bolton will. It'll be costly, but I'd love to have him back.
Oh, absolutely. In a moment, I would love to see him back. It might depend if they're in the Championship. I think that would help. It'd help him as well. But he'll be a big miss, Mark. You can't. I know we all know that one player doesn't make a team, but if you look at Ethan Erhan, when he came back into the side on Saturday, I think there's certain players. I know they're different. He's a different player to Johnny Kenny, but certain players you don't actually miss them. What they do until they're not there, and I think he returned on Saturday. To really press home that particular point. But absolutely, I can't imagine there's anybody who won't want Johnny Kenny back at Bolton next season. Hope it comes off. And things like that, what you've just mentioned there, whether it's a family connection, whether it's any sort of a connection, it can just sometimes tip the scales in your favour. What are all these stewards doing here now? They're all coming over here. What's happening? I don't think I'll be invading the pitch.
It'd be terrible trying to get down on it from here anyway. You've got no chance, not with my back. Anyway, this guy's just asked you which positions you think needs to be improved regardless of tonight's outcome. Player-wise. What needs improving?
I think I don't want to be unkind to players who've done really well for Bolton, but I think we've got to improve left side defence, I think, and get a more regular left side definitive defender.
Wouldn't argue
to that situation. And I've noticed as well, been a young goalkeeper on the bench, hasn't there, for the last few weeks now?
Harrington,
you're only a young lad, and I guess he'll be on the bench tonight. And who knows? We won't know until.
I think the goalkeeper's an interesting one because there's been a lot of doubts over Jack Bonham, even in that first leg.
You've just set that up now, haven't you?
I have, haven't I?
He's going to take Bolton through tonight. Remember this? You heard it first here, folks. Bolton goes to Wembley in the penalty shootout. Bonham saves 3 of the 5. Remember, you heard it here first. I hope I'm right, by the way.
That's it. Clip this up and throw it back at me at midnight. I don't mind. No, I think he's.
We'll probably still be here at midnight, by the way.
I will.
Yeah.
You swan off on the final whistle.
I won't be swanning off anywhere
easy
tonight.
Radio job.
No, I won't be swanning off anywhere.
Goodness me. I just hope that we get a happy post-match with loads of players looking to talk to us and such like, because it will be like a funeral. I mean, it's a terrible way to
don't go there
to finish your season.
There's no need to go there at all whatsoever.
Fair enough.
There really isn't. I know that all the players use this, and I understand why people say one game at a time, etc. But nobody should. A lot to do. We know all about that. We've heard it so many times, far too often. But I do understand. And there's not really an explanation that puts it out there any better, really. But for the time being, it's.
I think he's got a sensible head. I think the manager's he's calm, isn't he? And I think that's translated across the squad.
Yeah.
And it's not. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for Ian Everett and everything he did.
Me too.
But there were times where it just felt like it was running away. Or there were times where maybe even the team were getting carried away with what we were doing, and there was a lot of hyperbole, a lot of headlines that didn't need to be made. Shuey's kind of kept that on the down low, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was very calm yesterday. In fact, he was quite buoyant yesterday, wasn't he, at the press conference?
Yeah.
He was in
got a couple of smiles out of him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, speaking of smiles, because I got this smile out of him yesterday. Reminded him 18 games, and you told me, didn't you? That's a club record, isn't it?
18
history
draws.
Making 18 draws so far this season. There is never, could ever possibly be in the whole remaining history of Bolton Wanderers a better time to draw a game than tonight. And the irony of that would be amazing. Wouldn't it, really?
Absolutely.
Any draw, by the way.
Yeah.
We are getting carried away, even though I said we wouldn't. But any draw sends Bolton Wanderers to
A
Wembley.
clean sheet sends Bolton to Wembley.
Yeah, any draw. It can be 15-all.
It's on Bradford to come out and win this. So I'm getting more confident just that next year. Although Paul's just reminded me he's watching from Montego Bay, so that's just just brought me down. It's freezing here already.
Yeah, it is.
Kenny reminds me of Andy Walker. That's not a bad comparison.
No.
He's even managed to bugger his knee up.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Hey, what a player he was, by the way. What a
Well,
combination
he could finish,
that
couldn't
was.
he? He
Super
could
John and
definitely
Andy
finish.
Walker. You know, there are strikers. Andy Walker, going back to that era, never missed it. He just never missed. Never missed.
Oh, there we go. That you're great together, you two. Dare I say, Laurel and Hardy come to mind. Seriously though, guys, keep it up. End up, yeah, you're Hardy.
Yeah, right.
I'm not being all
right then. Yeah, there isn't Laurel and Hardy
Well,
effect
that one.
here. Yeah, you could be. I'd do it. I haven't got any ever.
No, that's a fair point.
2 boiled eggs.
It's more like the lad out of Benny Hill.
Yeah,
we did that
exactly.
one time, didn't we?
Oh yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. We'll take that on the chin, Laurel and Hardy. Yeah.
Right. Well, Laurel, I mean, I'll let you go. I'll let you
mate.
go.
What is that one?
I was going, well,
Given the season, I think.
Oh, sorry. Given the season we've had, I think today has draw written all over it.
Yeah.
Would you take it?
Yeah. Well, like I said, it would be the 19th of the season, and Shuey said yesterday, didn't he? It'd probably be if they do draw here tonight, be the only time he wouldn't say in the post-match press conference, we should have won.
Yeah, doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah. We should have won. Will not cross his lips tonight if it's a draw.
Right.
Give
me a scoreline before you go. What is it?
Oh, I'm going 2-0 Bolton.
2-0 Bolton?
Yeah, I am, yeah. Confident folks, yeah.
Check his coffee, someone. Check his coffee. Cheers, Jacko.
Hey, my pleasure. Cheers, folks.
There we go. Jack Dearden, ladies and gentlemen, on the stream. Now you're back with me. Sorry. Oh, right. Lovely stuff. Yeah, lots of positivity knocking about. Jimmy Wag, Alan Howling, Jack Dearden, 3 legends. Yes, I'm happy enough to say I know them all. Definitely endorse that comment. I haven't spoken to Alan for ages. Actually, I should really give him a text. Given our results this year, 1-1, Bradford score first. Do you know what? It's sometimes you visualize these things, don't you? And you think and you wonder how the match is going to pan out. And I've said about that early goal, I do feel like one of the teams are going to score early, and set the tone. Because if Bradford do equalise effectively by scoring early, it'll be really interesting to see what the reaction is. I do think this Bolton team, in terms of mentality, in terms of its ability to perform on the bigger stage, is better than anything that's gone before. I honestly do, but we shall see. We shall see. It might not be a popular view. There's lots of people going to be in this press box. I've got 10 staff from Wanderers here today, would you believe? And a lot of former players as well. I saw a lot of names that I recognised on the tickets on the way in. Philip Moraes, he's going to be here some stage. He owes me an intro for my podcast, to be fair, so I might try and grab him. We've only gained a lousy 28 points after the 90th minute. It's one of them, isn't it? That for Bolton is a miraculous record that they've done this season. I'm not sure it's 28. I can't remember off the top of my head how many it is. Excuse me. But yes, I mean, Bolton don't know when they're beaten. After the 90th minute, when that fourth officials board goes up, there's always a chance. There's always a chance of doing something. So we know it's not going to be over until it's absolutely over tonight. Can I see late drama? Yes, definitely. Without question. Basically, I've learned in this job that the Bolton Wanderers will do anything humanly possible to A, make it difficult for themselves, and B, make sure that I don't have a dead easy night copy-wise. Ah, dear. I meant Gowling, Mark, predictive text. Of course you did. I knew that. Alan Howling isn't a thing. We knew this. If Bradford score first, hope it doesn't affect the squad's confidence like it has done in some games this season away from home. Yeah, I do think they've been better. I do think it has improved, and I do think they can. Oh, Keith's here. He's eating his pie. Can you pop on for 2 seconds, Keith? Yeah, you all right? You don't have to bring your pie if you don't want to. Just talk to the folks for a second.
I'll leave it there.
Sit here.
Who's on?
Everyone. The Bolton fans.
Who's everyone?
Who's everyone? Oh, we've got some nice Keith Hill's here, ladies and gentlemen. Sit down, Keith. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Right. How confident should we be?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I would have been more confident if there was at least a 2-goal lead. I think it's a different atmosphere. This stadium, it's like a cauldron, and the fact of the matter is they've give less tickets out to Bolton supporters, so they'll have both ends of the pitch now behind both goals. The supporters are that much closer to the intensity on the pitch, and it could make a bit of a difference. We want a strong referee, but and again, if I'm looking through it from a perspective of going winning the game, I think Kenny's a big miss, especially away from home, because he does invade space with his pace. And other than Kozia Dubre, he's the only player Bolton have got in the squad who's prepared to break those lines without the ball. And it's a shame that he's not fit, because him and Dolby together were brilliant.
I think the system he kind of tripped upon with Rodriguez worked in that first leg, and it might even work better away from home, you know.
Come on, he didn't trip upon it, though,
well,
did he? Come on.
I'll give you managers credit.
Listen, I'm not being funny. Once Kenny was injured, then he had to go with a 3-man midfield, because I think Sheehan needs that support in there. And with Rodriguez playing as a number 10, and Arahan coming in playing that left side, I think he's brilliant, Arahan. I think I think Jack alluded to it. Sometimes you appreciate players when they're not playing, and I thought he put a really good performance in, and it nullified, I suppose, Bradford's midfield, if you like, because they almost play with a box midfield. And again, I think Bolton will still have those opportunities in wide areas of the pitch tonight, which could be instrumental, and it could be the deciding factor of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Sissoko was brilliant here in the league game, wasn't he? The last league game. They played a 4, so he was 1-on-1 with his fullback. They played 3 at our place. Which way do you think they go? Which one is more attacking? Which one gets them back in the game?
What, Bradford?
Bradford, this is,
I think they'll go direct. There's no question about that. I think they're going to have problems dealing with Sissoko on turnovers, because he stays wide, he stays high, he stays handsome. And what we have seen recently from Sissoko is less tricks, more impact. I think last time we was here was off the back of, I think, he's scoring that late equaliser against Huddersfield, and his confidence levels went up. But I do believe that Bolton's wide players, if Bradford play with a back 5, it allows them to stay high and wide. And I think Stephen Schumacher alluded to it the other night. Kozia Dubre, without having the ball, was getting frustrated. He was going inside. He asked him to keep his width, and when he did, he got his goal. And I think if they keep the width, those 2 wide players, I think they can go and win the game for Bolton. It's not
a very wide pitch, is it? And it's not as big a pitch as Bolton. But I think, Sissoko will have that memory of that last game. Definitely his best game for Bolton. You've got no dangers with a Mario, don't you? You can pull something out of
They're brilliant, honestly. And I'm not being funny. If you're the Bradford manager, you've got to be conscious of that. On turnovers, Bolton's first pass, and it's a free pass, it's to the 2 wide players, especially if they play with 5 at the back. So Jono and Tutu in particular, they've got to feed the wide players, let them get on with it, double up if they can. But they call it defensive resting now, don't they? Or resting defenders. That shape, it's integral to Bolton keeping a clean sheet. And I think if they keep a clean sheet tonight, they get the job done.
You and me have talked about that left-hand side of the defence quite a bit, and the goalkeeper, in fairness, on our journeys up and down the country. It worked. I think Jono had a great game on Saturday, comparatively speaking. Maybe a couple of question marks still about Jack Bonham on a night like this. Are we worried?
I'm not worried at all. I think, obviously, Bradford, they prefer to play with 3 sort of a 5-man defence. So Jono really doesn't have a winger playing up against him. I think Jono playing at left back has struggled when he's played with an out-and-out winger. Say, for example, if he was playing against Kozia Dubre, which most fullbacks would struggle against anyway. I think a centre-half playing against that type of winger would struggle. We saw him struggle against Wickham, for example. But when he's playing against nobody, he gets the first passes off well. He can tuck inside a little bit defensively and support, Farino. So I think it suits him playing against a 5-man back line with nobody to play against. I think the real problem for Jono is if they do play against an out-and-out winger. But I do believe that Bolton will have to keep a clean sheet. Not have to, because they're more than capable of scoring goals, but keep a clean sheet, they're going through.
Before I let you get back to your pie, I'm going to say, Give me a prediction. Give me a score prediction.
Well, my
tonight.
prediction before the game and leading into this game was 2-1 Bradford and Bolton win it on penalties.
Oh. Oh, that's set the collie wobbles. That's a late deadline. Thank you very much for joining in, Keith. Happy days. Keith Hill.
Right, I'm going to sit here, try and enjoy this.
F7, is that me, that one?
Oh, sorry. I will move.
No, don't be silly.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in my way.
I'm going to go back outside to wait for rain to pass. I just done a voice for 6 and I said the sun's beaming down on us and now it's
it's clouds in the sky tonight. Right, guys, I am going to go and plug my computer back in. I'm going to go and sit in the seat that I was allotted because I'm in somebody else's seat now. But thank you very much for joining in with the stream. There's been loads and loads of comments that I haven't even got round, but save them for later. We'll do it again. I shall see you soon.